Before humans built cities, before we drew borders on maps, this animal ruled the American wilderness. It was feared. It was hunted. It was nearly wiped from the face of the earth. And then, against every odd, it came back. This is the gray wolf, and this is its chapter. The gray wolf, Canis lupus, is the largest wild member of the dog family. An adult male can weigh up to 145 pounds and stretch over 6 feet from nose to tail. But what makes the wolf remarkable isn't its size, it's its mind. Wolves possess a sense of smell 100 times more powerful than a human. They can detect prey from nearly 2 miles away and track a scented trail that's days old. Their hearing is just as sharp. A wolf can hear sounds up to 6 miles away in open terrain. And yet, for most of the 20th century, we treated this extraordinary animal as a problem to be eliminated. To understand why and what we almost lost, we need to go back to the beginning. Gray wolves once roamed across nearly all of North America, from the Arctic tundra of Canada all the way down to Mexico. Millions of them, spread across forests, plains, and mountains. The apex predator of an entire continent. But as European settlers pushed west in the 1800s, they brought livestock and a deep fear of anything that threatened it. Wolves were poisoned, trapped, and shot in numbers that are almost impossible to comprehend today. By the 1970s, gray wolves had been wiped out from 95% of their historic range in the lower 48 states. In Yellowstone, once one of the greatest wolf habitats on Earth, the last wolf was killed in 1926. For 70 years, Yellowstone had no wolves, and the park slowly, silently began to fall apart. To truly understand the wolf, you must understand the pack. Wolves are intensely social animals. A pack typically consists of 5 to 10 individuals, built around an alpha breeding pair, their offspring, and sometimes other relatives. Every member has a role. Every relationship has a history. Wolf pups are born blind and deaf, completely dependent on their mother for the first 3 weeks of life. But within months, the entire pack becomes their family. Adults babysit, older siblings teach. Even the lowest-ranking wolves will regurgitate food for pups that aren't their own. This is not instinct alone. This is culture. And then there's the howl. A wolf's howl can carry up to 10 miles across open landscape. Packs use it to communicate location, reinforce bonds, and warn rivals to stay away. When a pack howls together, every voice is slightly different. Researchers can identify individual wolves by their howl alone. It is, in every sense, a language. Wolves are coursing predators, meaning they don't ambush, they chase. A hunt can last hours, covering miles of terrain, as the pack tests a herd of elk or bison for weakness. The old, the injured, the sick. This is not cruelty. This is precision. A single wolf cannot bring down full-grown elk, but a coordinated pack, communicating through body language, cutting off escape routes, wearing down their prey, absolutely can. Wolves succeed in roughly 20% of hunts. That means 80% of the time, they walk away empty. Hunger is not the exception for a wolf. It is part of the rhythm of its life. And when the pack does make a kill, the ripple effects are enormous. Ravens follow wolf packs and feed on their leftovers. So do foxes, bald eagles, and grizzly bears. A single wolf kill can feed dozens of other species. Remove the wolf, and this entire web begins to unravel. In 1995, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service made a decision that would change Yellowstone and the science of ecology forever. They brought the wolves back. 14 gray wolves were transported from Canada and released into the park. Scientists watched, and what happened next was beyond anything they had predicted. Without wolves, elk had multiplied and grazed freely along riverbanks, stripping vegetation to the roots. Rivers eroded, songbirds disappeared, beaver populations crashed. But within years of the wolves' return, the elk changed their behavior. They avoided the open riverbanks where wolves could easily hunt them. Vegetation recovered. Willows and aspens grew back. Beavers returned. Their dams created wetlands. Fish populations rebounded. Even the path of the rivers changed. Scientists called it a trophic cascade, a chain reaction triggered by a single predator, flowing all the way down to the shape of the rivers themselves. The wolves hadn't just returned to Yellowstone. They had healed it.
Today, roughly 5,000 to 6,000 gray wolves live in the United States. A remarkable recovery, but a fraction of what once existed. The debate over wolves hasn't ended. Ranchers in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho report livestock losses and push for hunting rights. State governments clash with federal protections. The wolf remains one of the most politically controversial animals in America. Scientists continue to monitor every pack, tracking movements, studying behavior, measuring the health of ecosystems shaped by their presence. What they keep finding is the same thing, over and over. Where wolves thrive, nature thrives.
The gray wolf has survived ice ages, mass extinctions, and human persecution spanning centuries. It is one of the most studied, most misunderstood, and most essential animals on this planet. And now you know its chapter.